at the Sachsenring. Hopefully we won't have any drama like we had last week. Now I don't believe there's that many of rider changes from last week, just apart from the fact that I think the only difference is Mogsy's returned from his well, yeah, he had to go somewhere last week. He's back this week. So let's hope we can have some good racing. Monster currently leads the championship, 6 points in front of Deck. And oh my god, the track is wet. Alright, old spanner in the works right now. So, the first wet session of the season. How many of these guys have tested in the wet session? We're about to find out. Also, VTR will have to start from the back of the grid due to some very aggressive riding last week. Chapper's first person out on track. Definitely not the condition that everyone was hoping for. Everyone was hoping for bright, clear blue skies, and at worst cloudy skies. But it's not meant to be. Into turn 1 now for Chappers. Very treacherous stuff. The bike making all kinds of shapes. And Monster going out of pit lane there. Maybe he's taking a lap to just warm up to things. Doesn't want to do a lap straight out of the box, which is quite unorthodox style. But let's be real. Whoa, that bike is all over the shop, as I would expect, because the rain's quite nasty on this game. And Deck has crashed, so Deck not getting off to a good start. For all these sequences of left-handers now into turn 8. This corner's is probably one of the biggest, one of the 4 corners that is what you'd call a crash corner. Whoa, going round the double left here, and now we turn right, going down the waterfall. Here's another corner, turn 12, the Saxon curve. Been a victim of many riders over the years. 2012 was the victim for Casey Stoner on the penultimate corner of the final lap. So there we go. Chappers is going to be the first person to cross the line. Unfortunately, I don't know who's actually going to be second, but Chappers is a 27.2, and not a lot of people are going faster. Nelson goes second. I've lost everyone. Moxie goes first. Josh goes 4th, and VTR goes second. Wigan, Everton. Where's Leon? Leon's coming around the final corner, and he goes 5th. Got the cuppa, nice. So here comes Wigan Everton coming out the final corner on board the Tech 12 KTM for his second ride in the season, and he goes 7th. John in the 3rd sector on board the Repsol Honda. Kaiko has crashed. John currently tied with his teammate in the championship. Both had a 6th and 11th finish, him and Josh. So this race will determine where they are in the championship. Speaking of Josh, he has just hit the floor. So currently 5 riders yet to score points. Not score points, set a lap. I'm already thinking too far ahead. Everyone scored a point, I believe, apart from LFC in the championship. Out of the main riders, anyway. And here comes John across the line to go into 7th place. Chappers goes fastest. He goes into 1st, but this is what's going to happen. Lap after every lap is just going to get quicker and quicker and quicker. As the track gets drier, the times get quicker, so we all probably, I would imagine, Deck is probably going to hit a 21, maybe even a 20, 22-0. Maybe I've overestimated Deck a bit there. But Leon goes into 4th. Monster was on a red sector 3, but unfortunately he's crashed. Nelson Where is he? He's coming round the final court. Mr. Hitstick's gone. I don't know whether that's a disconnection or that's probably a disconnection. Nelson goes into third. Kaiko coming up to the final corner now. Monster Night. Oh yeah, he had a crash. Kaiko goes 7th. John now coming around the final corner. Moxie's crashed. John goes 9th. Field very tightly packed here. Faking everything through sector 3. This is qualifying right now. The race is in, well, it won't be in 10 minutes, but the qualifying session ends in 10 minutes. Kaiko has crashed. Is Leon in front of? Yes, he is. Leon's about to improve his time, and he goes into 2nd place. Very nicely done by the Austrian. VTR's crashed. VTR's going to be starting last anyway. Hopefully I remember that. But Deck is on a lap. He's on course to go into pole position. Wigan goes into 6th. Just these laps are going to go quicker, quicker and quicker. Leon's crashed again. These laps are just going to go quicker and quicker and quicker as this session gets drier. And that crosses the line to go to a pole position. Currently Moxie on a red sector 2. Chappers goes into 2nd, and Moxie's crashed at turn 8, one of the big corners of death on this track. Turn 1 is another one. Who's this going? That's Kaiko. Let's see if he'll see how he does through turn 1. Oh god, John coming to the end of his lap, and he's ran out of fuel. It looks like. Oh, or did he get out of the way of someone? He got out of the way of Monster, I believe that was. Yes, it was. Let's see Nelson. Red sector 1 for Nelson. John's gone down at turn 1. And now through turn 8, Nelson's red sector 2, the season 1 champion. He's had an awful start. Should have had 3rd place last time out, but a milestone glitch where he was stuck turning left around the final corner cost him 3rd place, and he ended up finishing 8th because of it. But here comes Nelson into the final sector. 3 red sectors. Monster's crashed again. Monster, person who's won the first 2 races, started 3rd. Well, it's on the front row in 3rd place in both races. Not the start he would have wanted to this qualifying session. He comes over the hill, and Nelson goes into 1st place. Now VTR, he won't be starting anywhere in his qualifying position, but he goes 2nd. Chappers, whoa, that was Josh not getting out of the way there. Hopefully that didn't distract him too badly. And now up the hill goes the Suzuki, and he goes 1st. Who's gonna have the best time in here on their final laps? Here comes Leon. Remains 5th, improves his time. Kaiko in sector 3 on the grass there nearly. Don't want to be doing that in these conditions. On the curve, don't want to be doing that either. Don't want to be doing any of these things. Just trying to stay on the tarmac. Down the waterfall deck. Red sector 2. And into the final corner for Kaiko. Whoa, rear end getting sliding and onto the grass. And he does not improve because of that, but deck. Red sector 3 and 2. Getting on the curve there. That's not going to help him. Monster getting out of the way very nicely there. Monster needs to get a lap in here. He hasn't even got one yet. You just need to do a banker lap really. And Deck goes into pole position. Mogsy is on a good sector 1. Where is... I've lost myself now. Where's Wigan Everton? Wigan Everton now comes over the hill. He goes into 5th. Leon comes the sector as well. Where Josh comes across now to 7th. Just constant improvement. Next race is Argentina, I believe, in Termas. John's crashed. Not improving in sector 1. Leon goes into 4th place. Mogsy now. VTR's crashed. Mogsy go round. Oh, no one's going to get in his way, I don't know. Good. Mogsy now coming to the final sector. Round the final corner. He's ready. Sector 3. Can he go into pole position? No, he can't. He goes second. Monster. Red sector 2. Being last all session. Very nicely through the 2 lefts there. Is it going to be a red sector 3? Yes, it is. Down the hill. Into turn 12. And now into the final corner. Red sectors everywhere. Loads of reds, loads of oranges. What you'd expect. What are you... What the... Okay. I don't know what he's doing. But he's... Not in... What? I'm so confused. Wigan Everton's gone first. No, wait, it's not first. Sorry, 4th. They shouldn't be doing these things. They get me confused. Wigan Everton's now has gone and crashed. But here comes Deck, currently in pole position. And he extends his gap. I believe Chapper's going to be the next one. No, it's Kaiko. Nelson is behind Chappers, and Mogsy is somewhere on track. Coming around the final corner, up over the hill. And he improves his time, but not position. Here comes Chappers over the hill. Bovalido. He goes into second. Nelson goes first. You got Josh now into the third, coming out the third sector. Nelson's just crashed after going pole. Josh taking a horrifically wide line through turn 12 into turn 13. Mogsy with red sector 1. This is literally going to come down to time in here. John now coming into the final sector. The tracks, you can see the dry line is very prominent now. Unfortunately, you can't actually change the slick tyres in this situation. I'm pretty sure most of them would want to on their do Jack Miller on the final lap, on their final laps. Just try something. But John is down out the final corner and he goes 9th. Kaiko now improving in sector 3. Everyone's gonna be improving, but I'm interested to see how many of them are gonna keep well, what they're gonna do with their tyre situation. Mogsy in 4th place. 3 red sectors. Can he make it a 4th? Yes, he can. 19.6. 19.6 for Mogsy. Deck's going even faster than that. This monster gets out of the way, and Deck retakes the provisional pole position. Deck's taken every pole so far this season. Wigan Everton's crashed. John improving again. Just under 2 seconds. Go for it. It's the top 10. So that could be the top 11 if Monster actually put a lap in. Chappers has gone down at most likely turn 8. John going horrifically wide there. That's going to cost him a bit of time. Chappers in front of him, and that might have cost John a bit there, because that might have just startled him a bit. In the last corner, firing out the Repsol. Improving to 8th. Leon in 6th. Coming to the final stages now. Can people perfect the strategy here? VTR's on a lap, whereas he's a bit further behind Leon. So here comes Leon coming out the final corner. Where will he go? He goes 5th. Chappers is on a red sector 1. Keep an eye out on him. VTR goes into 4th. That's only momentarily. Deck is on a lap where let's go to Chappers. Where is he? He's going round the left now. Keep an eye on Deck. Will he go red sector 3? Kaiko's crashed again. John's crash! My dear lord. That was a big crash there. But if we just go to Deck into the final corner. Whoa, but bikes just making all kinds of shapes. And Deck improves his time further in 18.8. Peter in front of Chappers, so final 40 minutes, who's going to get the strategy bang on here? Josh is down. Chappers goes across the line to go into second place, Leon. And Chappers got a very nice market in Deck. So here comes Leon. Around the final corner. And he goes into fourth place. Here comes Nelson round sector 3. This is going to be his final lap, so he is not done. He's not going to get the best he could have done. Josh is crashed. John's lap's not going well, so he's not going to improve. Nelson's doesn't look like he's going to improve. Kaiko, is he in front or is he behind? Let's just quickly check. He's behind. Nelson now around the final corner. Doesn't look like he's going to improve. And he's going to abort the lap. And that is his session over. Leon's session is over. Kaiko now coming out the final corner. He goes into 7th. Mogsy's crashed. That's his session over. Wigan Everton. He jumps back up. VTR. Chappers has crashed. That is his session over. But I think that's still going to be second on the grid for him. VTR goes into second. That won't be second after in a minute. And here comes Monster. He hasn't put a good lap in all session. And what's he gonna do? He's got Deck behind him as well. Here we go, Monster comes across the line. And he goes into second. And Deck goes into first. Well, he remains first, I should say. And Leon goes and finishes his lap. Yeah, that's right. So it is Deck the Fall and taking his third pole position in succession in season 2. Monster once again will be alongside him on the front row. This time, a grid spot further than normal. The past 2 races he's been starting second. Chapter 6 is made in front row start, with Mogsy in 4th, Leon in 5th, Nelson the champion in 6th. That's his worst qualifying of the season, with his best and worst at this point was second. What can he do from the second row? Wigan Everton in 7th, and Kaika in 8th. The 2 Tech Tours getting the majority of the third row, and John rounding out the third row in 9th. You got Josh in 10th, VTR in 11th, because of that time penalty, and Mr. Hitzik, who unfortunately I believe disconnected. So the riders hold with bated breath to see what the weather conditions will be. Will it be dry? Will it be wet? Will it be cloudy? And it's the exact same weather condition. Who has saved their tyres? So this is the first, I believe this is the first ever wet track race. So this is just going to be a race of, well, who's got the tyres really? Who's got the correct tyres for this situation? Tensions will be rising now. People probably weren't expecting. Well, some people I won't say expecting, probably weren't as prepared for the race. Definitely more prepared for the dry. Everybody's ready. Unfortunately, I haven't had everyone's tyre choice, but it will do. Right, let's get this race started. Everyone's ready. So this is going to be interesting. It was already going to be a fight for survival. This just makes it even worse. And we are now off. And it's a good start once again from Monster Shock, but Chapper's also getting a good start, and he's actually going to lead into turn 1. VollGazzRacing's gone down. Oh, there's contact between the front three. Everyone apart from VollGazzRacing seems to have got away there. Well there. Chapper's currently leading the way. Monster in second. And that's Mogsy in third, Deck in fourth, Nelson fifth, VTR in sixth. Monster having a bit of a moment there. Kaiko's gone down. And this Chapper's taking the wider line, Monster taking the tighter line. Mogsy taking a look at the inside as well. John's gone down somewhere during this sector. So currently Monster is second place, somewhere he's always been on pretty much on. This is where he was in the exact same position as last week. Second place, right behind the leader. This time it's Chappers, not Deck. So the top 6 covered by less than 2 seconds. Whoa, contact there. Luckily nothing went wrong there. So Chappers leads for the foot, takes his first official lap led. Whoa, Jesus. Monster's having all kinds of moments here. Mog's looking up the inside. The Patronus bikes fighting away as well. VTR from last on the grid now in 7th. Leon, Chapper's teammate, in 6th. This is going to be a tyre race as well. Who's going to have the tyres towards the end of this race as well? Second sector's definitely a nightmare for grip. Always had, well, on this game anyway, always has been. Dex picked up a penalty somewhere. You got Nelson in 5th. He's got his teammate in front of him. Right, it's just, whoa, a bit of lag there. Thankfully nothing bad happened. Moxie on the back of Monster. I hope this is just my end and not theirs. Josh has gone down. Josh has gone down at the Saxon curve most likely. John's gone down as well, most likely the same place as his teammate. Everyone's just starting to spread out a bit now. But Wogsy stay on the back of Monster. Also got the merging lines in Omega. Hopefully there's no lines that merge. John's down again. It's going from bad to worse for him. So Moxie hounding Monster, just not able to make a way through. Whoa, that's Deck. Deck's ran on. Deck's made a mistake and he's gone from 4th to 6th at after running on at turn 8. Deck just never makes it easy for himself in these situations. Moxie, he's got the run on Monster. He's going to go up the inside. No, he can't. Had a look, not close enough. This is a battle of mediums versus softs. Now, the soft tyre is obviously going to be the strongest at the start. But then it depends how well the medium fares at the end. Which tyre is going to be the best. Which one's going to have the most grip at the end of the race. And as the track dries up, the worse the better the grip gets, but the worse the tyre gets, in theory. Deck looking up the inside of Leon through turn 3, not able to make it stick. Not able to even attempt the move. The gap at the front closing in a bit through this sector, but I think that is the Suzuki just going to drive away through this corner as it has done through every single lap so far. A little bit. So just the top 3 separated by keeps fluctuating between a second and 3/4 of a second. You got Nelson. Nelson having a bit of bad luck in the past 2 races, been caught for an instance. Currently he's got away. He's been incident free in his first 4 laps. Here we go. It's run down the straight. Chapper's still leading this way. He's led 4 laps so far. Here's Monster in second. Moxie in third. Monster's going up the inside of Chappers. And he's forced his way through there, a bit of contact, but he's going to lay back past. And Moxie's being opportunist, takes position. VTL's crashed. Chapper's lucky to get away with that, and he's managed to actually make quite a bit of a gap. Monster either looked like he was letting him through or couldn't get the exit, and Moxie tried to pounce. He's not worked. Whoa, Monster getting all over the place there. And now Nelson's trying to pounce as well. So Chapper's been let go, and was that a change between Leon and Deck there briefly? I'm not sure, but Moxie's now made his way through on Monster, and Nelson's going to look through his way past Monster. Oh, that's not gone well. Nelson's completely stuffed that up. Deck's still stuck behind Leon, so Deck just not got the pace at the moment, but he is running that medium rear tyre, so that might be why. He is probably hoping that rear tyre is going to come into its own at the end of the race. So Chappers now leads by a second, but Moxie, who seemed to be hounding Monster for the past 5 laps, has been set free, as you could say. And now it's going to be interesting to see if he's got the pace to catch Chappers. Moxie, race winner before, won Laguna. He won that race by simply just not crashing. Good strategy. Can it be a sort of similar strategy here again? Oh my god, that Yamaha is just... He's clawed about 4 tenths during those 2 corners. That Yamaha just being a lot more... seems to be a lot more stable compared to that Suzuki. Don't know if that's setup or what, but Moxie's closed right up during that sector. Deck getting close to Leon. And is this his move? Can he get the run on Leon out of the corner? No, that Suzuki just able to hold firm. Moxie now half a second away, so he's gained half a second in the 3 sectors. Deck's still stuck behind Leon. Wigan Everton in 7th place doing a cracking ride. Here's the focus on the front. Once again, the top 3 separated by a second or just a bit over or just a bit less, depending on the corner. Jeff's a little bit wide compared to Moxie there. And Moxie is right on his trumpet now. Well, Moxie picking up a bit of time penalty there. Now through these corners, just watch how these bikes behave. This part's just got absolutely no grip whatsoever. John's crashed again. Moxie looked up the side, could not. It was never going to work unless Chappers went on the grass. Really, you can see the track starting to dry out now. Moxie running a little bit wide, taking a lot more corner speed. Unfortunately, that's not helped with it. That's not helped him. Monster's gained a run, but he's run a little bit wide there. That's cost him a bit. Currently Monster in a championship extending situation, and I think he might know this. So third place, he might just go, you know what, this place is fine. I'll just pick up the pieces. But we'll have to see. There's still 8 laps to go. Dex crashed. Deck has crashed on the final VTR. Oh, thank goodness Deck respawned there. So Deck now in 8th place. Back at the front. Mogsy still off a second behind Chappers. This gap just keeps fluctuating. All these gaps at the front keep fluctuating. Nelson gained he's less than a second behind Monster now. So I don't know who set the fastest lap here. John's crashed again. John's race has just gone in the bin. Well, because he's gone wide, he's on the grass, and that's going to let Monster through. So Chappers, for the first time during this race, has now got a second lead. Nelson running a bit wide there. And Nelson's gone down. Through the Saxon curve, Nelson's lost the front. Leon is going to inherit the place. Is Wigan Everton going to inherit it as well? Yes, he is. So, oh, Nelson's going to go right back up the inside. Monster and Moggs are going side by side down the straight, and Monster's going to keep the position. So, disaster for the two Patronus bikes, 6th and 8th. And these two really, on paper, being the fastest, being the favourites coming into the championship. Just unbelievable. Kaika must have had another crash as well, because John is only 2.4 seconds behind after his 3 crashes. Just 6 and a bit laps to go. We've had 2 Patronuses going down. We've had Tektor, a Reps, and both Repsols going down. Will there be any other crashes? Hopefully not. Through the left angle of turn 12. 10 lefts, of course, around this track. So that left side of the tyre is going to be screaming for its life. The gap's getting back under a second now, so oh, Mogsy getting on the grass there. That's not going to help him one bit. To really help that the gap can't stay at a stable rate. We're Monster getting all sideways, going a bit wide through turn 1. Chopper fell a little bit wide there, but not as wide. That might just be his natural line, I don't know. Wigan Everton has been passed by Nelson, so Nelson into P5. Wigan Everton looking up the inside. No way. He hasn't been able to do it. Chopper's still out in front. He's led every single part of this race, apart from very briefly at the exit of turn 1 on lap 5, I believe that was. I think that was the lap it was. Gap fluctuated between 0.8 in a second during this lap. These 3 being the top 3 the whole race pretty much. Monster's made a mistake somewhere. He's made a mistake coming out the final corner. He's not going to get a good run. And Mogsy's going to go up the inside into turn 1. How on earth they haven't crashed there, I have no idea. And Mogsy's now back through into second place. Did Monster send me his tyres? Yes, Monster's on a medium, so in theory his tyres should now be coming into play, but after that, maybe not. But we'll have to see Mogsy. Flux, I don't know what hit tyres he's on. But he's just pulled from monster. Now coming round into turn 11. When they cross the line, there'll be 4 laps remaining. Just take a quick look at Deck, currently behind VTR. Soft front, medium rear has not worked for him, but VTR's gone wide. Deck's going to get the run into the final corner. John's crashed again. Ooh, and Deck, has he got the exit on VTR? Yeah, no, yet, no. They're side by side down the straight, and Deck has got in front, but let's just see what happens. Josh has gone down, and Deck is through on VTR. Sector 2 seems to be Moxley's strong point. That's when he seems to gain most of his time. But over the rest of the course lap, it just seems like Choppers has got it. Monster maybe settling just for 3rd place now. He's like, yeah, okay, I've got a massive gap to Leon, and his championship rivals are nowhere. Pick up some nice points and let these two scrap it out and see if he can pick up any pieces from it, because Moxley is now less than half a second behind. Slipstream coming into effect now. 3 laps to go. Suzuki versus Yamaha. Chappers has led this race for 99.9% of this race. Running a bit wide through there. Round turn 3. Ironically, it seems like as soon as Moggs round the back of Chappers, that's when he can't close in sector 2. Thing he's done for the past two laps. Round turn 8, so much corner speed from Moggsy there. He's run a little bit wide and not been able to get the drive out the corner. Deck also getting close to Wigan Everton. Can he make his move in these final 2 and a bit laps? BTL's gone down, but I don't think that's going to impact him too much. So into the final corner for the pre-penultimate time. John's gone down again. It's just not been the race for John at all. Into turn 1. Chopper's taking a very nice tight line. Bogs are making a bit of a mistake there for exit of turn 1 on the curb. Kaiko's gone down. Which of these guys is going to be able to cope with the pressure the best? Monster in the background there, he's just hoping that something crazy happens. Mogsy right there. He's going to go for a move, surely he's got to. If he's in firing range, Kaiko has crashed. Mogsy's round the back of Chappers here. Is this the move into turn 12? Classic overtaking manoeuvre. No, it's not. Chappers strong enough on the brakes. He's not let that happen. Mog's having a bit of a moment there. It's final lap time now. Down the straight, slipstream. Side by side down. Mogsy's taking the lead on the straight into turn 1. Ooh, Chopper's going to go back up the inside. Mogsy running wide. And now through turn 2. Chopper's holds the lead just about. round turn 3. It's just full gas now the whole way. Round turn 7. And now into turn 8. Into turns 9 and 10 in the curve there. Very sketchy. Oh, on the curve, that's not what you want. That's not going to help you drive. But I think it's still good enough. Into turn 12. It's going to come down to the final corner. I don't think that gap's good in. Oh, he's going to go for it! And he's gone down. That's not worked for Moxley. That's gone in Chappers' favour due to the game physics. And Chappers is going to win. Very, very lucky there. Wait, hang on. What's happened to Monster? Leon's got second. Something's happened to Monster in that final lap. Leon's got second. Moxley third. Monster fourth. Nelson fifth. Wigan Everton sixth. Decken seventh. VTR comes home in eighth. What has just gone on there during that final lap? Just comes round the final corner to bring home ninth position. And now it's just these two. Who's going to be in front when the timer finishes? It looks like it's going to be Kaiko. It was just Kaiko. So just confirm results. So after that dramatic final corner, it's Chappers who wins the race, with Leon in second, Mogsy in third, round out the podium. Monster, something happened to him on that final lap, he got fourth. Nelson in fifth, Wigan Everton in sixth, Deck in seventh, VTR finishes at eighth, Josh in ninth, Kaiko in 10th, and John finishing in 11th. Flipping heck of a race that was. Not too many incidents, I believe. So it's
I mean, that's my first podium, I'll take it, but could have got a second if I got done for that move, but
right. Is everybody here who needs to be here?
Yeah.
Okay, Mogsy, I'll start with you. You had a incredible pace. Unfortunately, you went through you weren't able to really take the lead at any point, maybe just for a fraction on the final lap down the straight.
Mhm.
And you went for the move at the final corner and it didn't go your way, which it was very touch and go, but it didn't go your way, and but you've still managed to pick up a podium despite that crash. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like I could have got the second place, but I'm quite happy with my first podium. But I shouldn't have really gone for that move. I know I was catching, me and Monster had a little bit of a battle. Chapper started pulling away, then I caught him, but I caught him. I went for a medium soft. Which I think it was alright, like, but I was catching him in, I think it was like end of sector 1. I'd be catching him, and that's where I'd make up most of my time. But yeah, just wanna say well done to Chappers for winning.
Thank you. So Leon. So you had a very quiet race. You didn't really feature much at the front, but you just did get involved in any instance. You managed to, I don't know, I didn't see what happened to Monster, but something happened to him, and you managed to, after all that chaos, managed to second place out of nowhere, and managing to secure the first 1-2 of the season for Suzuki, and for any team. How do you feel? Very nice. So, Chappers? You led for 99.9999% of that race, apart from a couple of times when people got in front of you just by minuscules. You led that from start to finish pretty much. You controlled the race. You got very lucky in that last corner. In fact, you didn't get collected. And you managed to bring home Suzuki's first win. And the first non-monster win of the season. How do you feel?
I feel great. It feels weird to kind of be back on top of the podium again. It's been a long time, but it was a real fun race. You know, me and Leon, we both prepared as a team. It's important to me as well because it's good for teams championship, and it will also boost Leon's confidence and also Flabby's confidence as well, knowing that we can get the bike working well. And yeah, it was a very intense race, having Mogsy behind me for the last lap, and then I knew that the dive was going to come for the final corner, and I expected it to come because it's racing, and if you're right behind someone and it's the last lap and you're coming up to the last corner, you know that it's instinct to go for the move. And I was very lucky not to go down because the rear stepped out, and I almost went down as well, so I was lucky to get away with it, but it was fun. And I'm looking forward to hopefully doing another race and potentially getting another podium for Suzuki. And well done to Leon and the other guys in the race today. You did a great job, and looking forward to Termas.
Thank you. So that has been round 3 of VollGazz Season 2. Next week, as just said, we are going to be in Termas de Rio Hondo in Argentina, and we'll see who can pick up the victory there. Goodbye.